Money comes to me in increasing
Wealth,
quantities.
abundance, plenty,
Money comes to me
Genius.
in increasing quantities.
thankful, strong, happy, positive,
Money comes to
fun,
me in increasing
open-minded,
quantities. Money comes
strong,
to me in increasing
positive,
quantities. Money comes to me
determined.
in increasing quantities.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the 216 Wealth Study for my 5th episode entitled Increasing Life. What you just saw in the beginning clip was just a little clip of a mime movie that we'll be discussing later in the later episodes and how it ties into this scientific study. But for now, we're going to talk about increasing life. Without further ado, let's hop right into the science. Get your notepads out, write it down. I'm going to say it slow. We must get rich so that we can live more. The desire for riches is simply the desire for a larger life. That which makes you want more money is the same as which makes the plant grow. It is life seeking fuller expression. God wants you rich. It is the desire of God for you to be rich because he can express himself better through you. The universe desires for you to have everything you want to have. Nature is friendly to your plans.
Anything that I want in this world, we was put here to create. We wasn't put here to work for nobody. Just so happens some people like to work for people. I'm a creator, and that's what, but I didn't know that at first. It took me to apply to over 150 companies. It took me to catch a felony and not know the benefit of catching a felony. And people look at it and say, who says that? Because I couldn't God didn't put me here to work for nobody. He put me here because if I could have got a job, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now. I wouldn't have the mentality to want to infect 1 billion people and encourage them to speak their dreams into existence. You know, I wouldn't be able to have mentored over 100,000 kids to execute their dreams, you know, and teaching kids to, you know, take all the other words out the dictionary. The only thing that matters in life is execution. All them other words just complimentary. The only thing people care about is that you execute.
Everything is naturally for you. Make up your mind that this is true. What God wants is for you to make the most of yourself, for yourself, and for others. And you can only help others by making the best of yourself. And you can only make the most of yourself by becoming wealthy. The Supreme is equally in all, seeking more riches and more life. Get rid of the thought of competition. You are to create, not to compete. You do not have to take anything away from anybody else. You do not have to cheat, and you do not have to take advantage. You do not have to look at the property of others with wishful eyes. No man has anything of which you cannot have the like. You are to become a creator, not a competitor. There are people who get very rich by competition like Rockefeller, Dale Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, but according to this book, they have never been truly rich. A private record of the private lives of these people will show that they have actually been the most abject and wretched of the poor. Riches secured on the competitive plane are never satisfactory and permanent. They are yours today and another's tomorrow. Remember, if you are to become rich in a scientific and certain way, you must rise entirely above the competitive thought.
You must never think for a moment that the supply is limited. Just as soon as you begin to think that all the money is being cornered and controlled by bankers and others, and that you must exert yourself to get laws passed to stop this process, and so on, in that moment you drop into the competitive mind, and your power to cause creation is gone for the time being, and what is worse, you will probably arrest the creative movements you have already instituted. Know that there are countless millions of dollars worth of gold in the mountains of the earth, not yet brought to light. And know that if there were not, more would be created from thinking substance to supply your needs. Know that the money you need will come, even if it is necessary for 1,000 men to be led to the discovery of new gold mines tomorrow. Never look at the visible supply, always look at the limitless riches and formless substance, and know that they are coming to you as fast as you can receive and use them. Nobody, by cornering the visible supply, can prevent you from getting what is yours. So never allow yourself to think for an instant that all the best building spots will be taken before you get ready to build your house, unless you hurry. Never worry about the trusts and combines and get anxious for fear they will soon come to own the whole earth. Never get afraid that you will lose what you want because some other person beats you to it. That cannot possibly happen. You are not seeking anything that is possessed by anybody else. You are causing what you want to be created from formless substance, and the supply is without limits.
That concludes my 5th episode entitled Increasing Life. I hope you guys got your notepads, and I hope you're studying and reading the stuff that I'm teaching. Repetition is the key to memorizing, so stick with me for my next episode. Before I leave, I want to give a shout out, a special 216 shout out to Tiffany Horton. She's a friend of mine from school. She has a boutique on the west side. Plenty of great clothes in there, great stuff. Go check her out. Support our 216 entrepreneurs and our 216 artists. Until next time, I'll be kicking more gems and more jewels, and we can continue the process of becoming rich and wealthy. Till next time.
Everybody thinks it's something outside we have to change. We have to change companies. We have to change cities. We have to change jobs. You got to change it inside. If you don't change it inside, nothing happens. Well, I got into that book, and I started to study. Now, he said there's a secret in that book. And he said, if you find a secret in the book, you can have anything you seriously want. Well, I thought that was a gross exaggeration. You know, you can have anything you want. Let me put it in proper perspective for you. I was 26. I had 2 months high school formal education. I had no business experience. I had an absolutely terrible work record. And here I'm reading that you can have anything you want. Now, there's so much about ourselves that we don't know. And as I started to read this book, he said, there's a secret. You can give anything you want if you find the secret. Well, that was sort of like trying to sell me on the tooth fairy. And of course, I was 26. I thought I was pretty cool. I thought I was wide awake, you know. And actually, I was in a deep hypnotic trance. And I was ready to reject it. But Ray said to me, he said, listen. He said, you're not very happy. He said, you're not the healthiest guy in town. You're always broke. Now, he said, I found out something about money, and he pulled out a big wad of money. He always carried a lot of money, and I was always fascinated with that because I never had any. But at any rate, he said, this stuff can't talk, but it can hear. And he said, if you call it, it'll come. And I thought, God, you know, that's sort of a nice idea. You know, and I was ready to start hollering for it. But he said, you've got to understand how to get it. And he said, you obviously don't understand. Now, he said, the author of this book studied the lives of 500 of the world's most successful people, his entire life. Then he put it in this book. Now he said, I'm inclined to think that he knows something that you don't know. Well, I think he just sort of put me in my place.
I want the M's, I want the M's. I said, I want the M's, I want the M's, yes, I want the